Yo,
Yo,
yo, my boys, what is good? It is Friday, April 9th. Another beautiful week coming. That's a weekend. Wow, yo, don't mind me. It's been a long week, man. But yo, we here. We got some big breaking news. DMX has passed away, so we're gonna take the beginning of the podcast just to talk about favorite songs, favorite moments, just him as a person and the impact he had on the New York rap scene. For the people that haven't seen this before, Radical Souls Podcast, going to change it up a little bit. We used to post on Fridays. Now we might be posting this on Saturday. So whatever you hear, we'll be talking about on Friday. So if you see this on a Saturday, don't try to kill us for having some wrong information out here because we're a day late. Just trying out some new things, seeing what sticks, what doesn't stick, and worst case, we'll always go back to our other schedule.
Exactly.
But I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
I'm Ethan, and make sure you follow YouTube, subscribe, TikTok, Instagram, everything we got so far.
Yeah, TikTok, we're posting some videos. Me and Ethan have been posting our sneakers and stuff. Maybe we'll get Chris in once he finally hits on the Nike app again, which
hasn't been on a dry streak with me. So
yeah, and I got some old stuff I can show off. So we got a mix of multiple things here. So guys, let's get into this.
Let's get right into it.
let's get it.
So DMX, who wants to start off? Chris, I know you're a big old school hip hop rap dude. You wanna start it off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go. I mean, DMX. They're really like if you don't know anything about hip hop, you at least know "Party Up" by DMX. That's like that's like his anthem of anything. But I feel like DMX is way more than that. I mean, a lot of young cats don't really know the bridge that he kind of crossed when it came to hip hop. He was kind of the bridge. He was one of the bridges to make hip hop less isolated in the 90s, early 2000s, to bring in my opinion, like the 50 Cents, the Eminems, things like that. But it wasn't, I feel like he was part of that era that helped transcend hip hop to what it is nowadays, to where anybody could listen to it and it's a thing, versus in the 90s, you had to be a certain color, certain type of swagger to you to listen to it. I feel like he's one of those first artists that you could be anybody and you can enjoy some DMX, dog. So shout out to him. Sad story, man. I mean, I feel like that's such a disappointment, man. Well, not a disappointment, but just a sad story. Like at the end of his life, I mean, for him to go like that. But man, I mean, you got to remember for who he was, right? So,
Exactly.
Ethan, I'll let you keep going from here. What you got?
Honestly, in a spiritual sense, I felt like he brought the most out of it in rap music. Like he prayed, he was very religious. You don't really see that with artists nowadays, and he was very big on that, and it shows in his rap music too. Like he made sure he did everything spiritual. He let people know in interviews. Like he was a great guy alone, aside his life in music.
Word. I mean, yo, DMX is one of those people that, like Chris said, bro, like he's like that gateway. Like if you hear DMX, you're just like, yo, who's that? Because he was just so different, bro. The beats, the music, his voice, what he was rapping about, his lyrics, like everything just came together crazily. So I
yeah,
mean, it's like Chris said, it's sad that he went the way he did because it was a drug overdose. And you had also they found out he was positive with COVID, so a lot of people are saying it was probably a mix of the two things. So like, it was crazy. It was crazy to see. It was
I
like the
think
most COVID thing to see, honestly.
yeah.
I I read up on that when he was 14 that his mentor did him dirty and to tell him take a hit, and it was a wrap from there.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, 50 years old too. When I saw that, I was like, yo, in my head, I'm thinking he's like in his 60s now. Like when I saw 50, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, bro. I mean, did you guys happen to see him on the versus battle?
Nah, I didn't see it that day. I saw like little clips of it though.
I mean, like you could definitely tell he was struggling with something because he couldn't like it would be a verse and he would spit like half a verse because he'd be out of breath. He would be like, you could tell he was struggling with something that was way deeper than you could see on the surface. So if you go back and look at that, like they go through songs and Snoop Dogg sitting next to him, and Snoop is like rapping the whole song, and then DMX comes and it's like half a verse, and the guy's like out of breath, like he's like, but like Ethan said, throughout that whole time, even if he was struggling with something, like he went out of his way and he prayed, he like was talking about God the whole time and talking about this and things that you don't see from a rapper, which is very true. I mean, rappers tend to put up a persona that they never want to show the inside of what they're going through, and he wasn't like that. At least at the end of his life, he wasn't like that. That's You can appreciate stuff like that from a rapper, and you can show a true person versus a persona that you put up.
Word. Let me say just one more thing. The thing that like I'm really shocked about is just the fact that like you see all these rappers like ODing and like having these drug issues, and I still don't understand to this day why people like in that circle are not getting them help and just telling them straight up like, yo, we need to get you help, bro. Like I don't want like to see you go down that same path. And like it's crazy to see it just happening over and over and over with a lot of these great rappers.
That's a fact, dog. I mean, I feel like that, just to butt in a little bit, I feel like that's a constant like thing that rap culture kind of embraces in, drugs and selling drugs and doing drugs and blah blah blah. Like I get that. That's a persona that you want to put up, you want to rap about it, cool. All right. But when you see somebody struggling or you see somebody going down that whole, I don't know, as an industry, like they were literally talking about it, I want to say like 2 or 3 nights ago, about how much money like hip hop industry has made in this generation versus like previous generations, like DMX's generation, the 90s, the 80s. It's nothing compared to the guys, how much they make now. Like it's crazy. So you're talking about these guys that make so much money can't even help out their own community, like within their own group. Say, damn, I see this guy struggling. Let's see if we can get him, because anybody can go to any regular rehab,
Yeah.
but like get him some actual real help, bro. Like, yeah, I feel like that has to be a definite thing going forward, in my opinion.
E, you want to touch up on that a bit?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like back then, you wasn't making as much money, and you would go on the side to do what you gotta do and then rap to make more extra money. Now it's like you have contracts, you have signings, you have so many different concerts, you have so many different ways to make money, and you're blowing it out on certain things to not help you out, and then your friends are not helping you out. So it's hard. That is a very touchy subject, but I completely agree with Chris.
Word, man. But R.I.P to him. We gonna have to be bumping his songs for the next long while. His music gonna blow up like crazy in the next 2 3 days, maybe week, and it's just unfortunate that it went down the way it did.
I agree. When you talk about hype music, man, it
Bro,
was before
I don't
Travis.
know. Have you guys ever seen that concert of him at
Where it looks like the whole world is there watching him.
yeah, that's Woodstock. So they ended up like doing Woodstock in the early 2000s, and like he comes on and all the it's like a sea of white people just get completely hyped, and they're just going, they're mosh pitting and shit, and I'm like, oh man. And before, this was before mosh pitting and raging was cool. This is just them just doing it. And man, I mean, you see stuff like that, and that's just beautiful, man. I mean, that a guy could literally rap and just bring hundreds of thousands of people of all different colors together. So that's cool, man.
Word, man. New York, one of New York's legends, man. Another one gone, but not forgotten. Everybody gonna be bumping his music like crazy, and next thing you know, we're gonna hear like 18 features on different albums from him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But on to other things. Speaking of New York, Ethan, you had a great topic you wanted to bring up about.
The Battle of New York, the Knicks.
So what was the topic, E? What did you want to discuss? What did you want to analyze out here?
The playoffs, if it started right now, like right today.
So if playoffs were to start today, we are 50 games in. Some teams are 52. Other teams are in different spots because of COVID and stuff and things that happen in certain games. So what's good, Ethan? What discussion you want to bring up first, matchup wise?
I mean, Nets and Knicks. I mean, I know people are gonna say it's not a good matchup, but I would love to see it. And the second rival, 76ers and Celtics.
Now that would be a big if though because of the play-in situation going on, where you got the seventh and eighth seed playing each other, and then that team moves on as the seventh seed. So like, let's say the Knicks and Celtics would have played obviously today, and the Knicks won, they would get the seventh seed, and Boston would have another chance to play, and the Pacers and Bulls would play each other, and whoever win that game will go on to play the Celtics. Loser goes into the draft, and then whoever wins between the Celtics, Pacers, or Bulls would end up being the eighth seed. So the Knicks got to try to get out of that eighth seed and go to the sixth seed, in my opinion. Even though I would like to play Brooklyn because I do feel like we are pretty close to Brooklyn in the sense of being able to hold them down and score. Obviously, names on the paper, we're nowhere near them, but they've surprised a lot of people when we play Brooklyn.
Facts.
Chris, you dodging that smoke or you want all that smoke? Because I know you how you are.
Low key, I want it all, dog. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like the Nets could get exposed real quick in the playoffs, dog. With that bench that they got looking mighty weak, I feel like they can get exposed by a good team. So I want it all.
Word. Would you mind if we slid up into the sixth place just to make sure we don't have to play that play in and play the Bucks or?
I I'd honestly rather play the Nets than the Bucks. Is that far fetched? What I'm saying?
Nah, I mean the Knicks when we played the Bucks last time we got smoked when Giannis was there. The other time I'm not gonna count because they were missing all their starters, but we got smoked that time and it was nowhere like near good Knicks basketball that game either. They just
Yeah,
have our number. Like I'd rather play the Nets because the Nets, at least we've shown like if we could hit a few timely baskets and actually have better game plans with Tom Thibodeau, there's a great chance of winning these games.
facts. So I'm like, I mean, how do you feel about Tom Thibodeau though? Like now going in, the season's kind of almost done with, not done with, but we're more than halfway past the halfway point. So how you feeling?
20, I mean, we got 20 games left. I'm like on the fence about it because there's certain times where I'm like, yo, like, come on, you can do something better with your rotations. You can do something better with your choices out here. Like last game we played the Celtics and we lost by 2, another heartbreaker, or 3, 2 or 3. I don't remember on top of my head because it was heartbreaking. I don't remember, but like R.J. Barrett was on fire that game. He was 10 for 14 from the field. He had 29 points, 6 for 6 from 3, and like he was just running Julius Randle down to the ground, like ISO, ISO, ISO. Like it was crazy. And I feel like Tom Thibodeau still doesn't have that balance. But, it's his first year, so I'm not really expecting too much from him because what does this team really have to make you say, okay, yeah, this is your definite closer. This is your definite person to bring out. Like, a lot of these guys are role players on good teams. Like, they shouldn't be playing the minutes they're playing, and you could tell they get gassed very easily because of that. I don't know, Ethan, you want to add on to that? Because I know that you look around the league so you can analyze this a little bit better.
First things first, you guys lost by 2 because our Celtics -3 bettors were very mad because RJ hit a 3-pointer and 1 second left. Very mad about that. But I really like how Thibodeau's been playing. Again, we said this before the season started. They're going to run people down the ground. Derrick Rose is still hurt. You guys don't have all your players technically.
Yeah, we're missing Mitch still. Everybody else, for the most part, has been playing like on injury. Because Randall, you have Randall in fantasy, so you could talk about this. He has not looked the same since he sat out that Bucks game.
Nope. That first half of the season, he looked amazing. That second half he's starting to slip a little bit. But you can't, like you said, you can't rely on that one player, even if he is a bucket getter. Give it to RJ. Give it to your key makers, other than Alfred Payton.
You don't even get me started on that, man.
Put it in quickly. Like he has to use that rotation more.
Yeah, so I mean, it's his first season. If I see nothing changes next year, then I'm gonna be a little concerned. And if the third year nothing has changed at all, then I think that last 2 years of his contract are gonna be up in the air for sure.
Thanks.
I
mean, anything is better than Phil Jackson. So
Phil Jackson bringing in Derek Fisher as a coach. Oh my god! Oh, and I'll take this losing close games and seeing Fizdale down by 30, like on the sideline. Like, nah, that dude used to piss me off so bad. We used to be down by 30. He'll be cheesing hard as crap on the sideline. I'm just like, yo, Oh my God, you suck. I think he's. I think I'm not gonna say he sucks. He shouldn't be a head coach. Assistant coach, I think he could be pretty good. Head coach, let's never go down
Never.
that path ever again. Ethan, who do you think can make a push right now in the East? I mean, the Raptors are 5 games out of eighth. Top 10 teams make it, so they're 3 places. Even the Cavs are 3.5 games out. Wizards are 4 games out. Like, what do you think can make that little bit of a push over these next 20 games?
The problem right now, the Pacers are hurt. The Bulls just got Vooch, so they can really make a push. Maybe 7-6. Raptors just got in a fight, so players are suspended. Um, Cavs and Wizards are weird though, because I told you like I was big fans of the Wizards, but they've been ass. And Cavs are Cavs, like your best player is Sexton. So I wouldn't want to see him in the playoffs.
Word. I mean,
Okay.
if any team is gonna make it, I think the Wizards can make a weird push because Westbrook's been doing his thing, and Bradley Beal is Bradley Beal. But
But they bump heads too much. Like they both want to score. Like it's hard.
And didn't we project that as well?
so, Chris, who
Definitely
you
did.
think makes that push for the last two? Or you think it's gonna stay Bulls and Pacers?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't see Toronto doing anything. Don't see Cleveland doing anything. Like Wizards, no, I don't even see the Wizards doing anything. So, and who are the Orlando Magic anymore?
Not who is on the Orlando Magic is the better question. The only person I know is Mo Bamba, and it's because of Sheck West. Other than that, probably wouldn't even know he's on that team.
I was just gonna say, name me 3 players from that team, please.
Terrence Ross.
Cool.
Only reason I know is because he was there. Cole Anthony,
Wendell
Okay.
Carter.
Marco Fultz is
Uh,
out for the year. That's the
wow.
only reason I know.
So, yeah.
But, all right, so safe to say the Knicks might be in good position. Just got to make sure we don't have to play in this play-in because I mean I wouldn't be mad if we end up in the lottery because we lose the play-in. That's like best case scenario. But then again, I do want to see them make a push for the playoffs because, like Chris says, mediocrity is not the best thing year and year and year and year in.
Yeah.
Lifetime after.
I mean, if the Hornets could be above 500, why can't the Knicks? Okay.
Because we
They
shoot
shouldn't
ourselves in
even
the
be
foot.
26 and 24. Like,
But you gotta think about it like this, right? The Hornets have been together as a team for a year now. No, 2 years now. Or yeah, 2 years now. And then you got a coach who's been there for a while. Thibodeau's looking at this team. He like you could tell sometimes he doesn't know what in the hell he wants to do. Because Randall be playing the whole third quarter. I'm just looking at Obi like, so we gonna act like he didn't drop like 6 points in the first half easily within 5 minutes, or we just gonna leave him on the bench? All right. Okay,
But I
Tib.
noticed that too. He is literally riding the bench.
Yeah.
Like I don't get that at all. If you're gonna pick him so early in the draft, you literally don't have anybody starting above him. Like who is starting above him?
Reggie Bullock.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like there should be no reason. It's not like fucking KD is in front of him where he's not gonna get no playtime. Like he should have a lot of playtime. And
The
I feel like every time I'm watching the Knicks, this guy's just riding the bench and riding the bench. I'm like, all right, bro. Like,
the real problem is that Obi is like a real four. He's not really a three. And then Randall is like he can't really play the five. Even though I do think against certain teams you can try it out, and he really doesn't try it out for whatever reason. But
well, I mean, isn't he short? Supposedly 4 or 5.
yeah, but you know that small ball five. Like there's some teams that still do it. Like if you're playing the Warriors, and you see Draymond out there at the five. Like I think you can put Randall at the five in my opinion. But
Yeah,
he's really old school. He wants his big man holding down the paint, the four, the three, the two, and the one. And even then, Reggie Bullock, as much as he's pretty good, he did a lot better off the bench. And Tibbs was like, "Nah, you gotta start again." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Like let's just screw all of this up." But what else can I say, man?
Nothing to say.
Let's look at the West. Let's look at the West. All right, so the Lakers have slipped into the fifth spot, which no one was really surprised that was going to happen. Portland's only a game and a half out. The Mavs pick that looked so amazing in the beginning of the year is now a seventh seed in the West, and they're a game out of six. The Grizzlies made that climb, like I said they would, but I don't know if that stays consistent because Ja's been really like on off like all year. And the Warriors have just been the Warriors where one game they look like they're back and then another game they get blown out by 60, 40, 20.
That's a fact.
The Pelicans are still disappointments. The Kings are a half game behind the Pelicans. The Thunder are still somehow 4.5 games out of the play-in. And the Rockets and Timberwolves are still doo-doo.
The Rockets pick.
Don't you guys have another pick too? The
Yep.
Clippers, right?
Yeah.
Is it
We
this year?
got from Shaw. I don't know if it's this year, but we got
I think
one
it's-
with Shaw.
Yeah, I think it's next year because I think the Knicks have the pick swap this year for the Marcus Morris deal, but obviously we're not going to swap picks because, yeah.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Suns. Can we talk about them first?
I feel like CP3 doesn't get enough love. Like, the Suns were just out the play-in last year, and you put CP3 in, and now they're top of the seed.
Like what CP3 is in my opinion one of the greatest point guards ever. Like he just doesn't get put in that category ever.
Agreed. 100% agree.
Yeah.
And to this day, what were you say, Chris?
I was gonna say, especially.
No, I was gonna say I definitely agree with you guys. So
okay, and I was about to just say, especially because he's done it with the Thunder and the Suns now. So
I was just gonna yell about how him and Kobe could have played, but they vetoed that trade.
That would have been a problem though. Like that would. But I don't understand. Like David Stern, that was like the most questionable thing ever because then, like you see all the super teams now, and it's just like, so why did you stop that from happening again? I don't know. I don't know why he vetoed the trade. I mean, if Chris could pull off highway robbery in our league, why can't the Lakers just get Chris Paul?
I didn't pull away highway robbery. Okay.
I don't want to talk about the Kawhi deal, all right?
Yeah, give him 3 players for Kawhi.
Nah, you got it. I'm just bored because you're the one that made a lot of trades during the deadline. Let's talk about the Clippers. Has Rajon Rondo elevated them?
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. Do you think it was Rajon Rondo that made the difference with the Lakers?
I mean, the problem with Rondo was that he's a playmaker, even though they don't really need him because they have LeBron. But like on the Clippers team, I think he's a lot. He'll be a lot better because he could play make. Only problem is everybody knows you can't really shoot the three, but you can't leave him wide the hell open because he will make it.
Yeah.
And Patrick Beverley to me is not your answer at the point guard playmaking wise. Like he's a person that you put in where you need to like lock down somebody, but unless Kawhi and Paul George are gonna play make, which that's not the strength of their game, like it's not really worth it.
I feel like when I think of Patrick Beverley, it's like straight defense. I've never seen that guy. I feel like in my head, I've never seen that guy score a bucket in my life.
I can't tell you one highlight of his scoring wise. Like I can tell you him putting clamps on somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Defense, I've seen it, but like offense, can't remember a damn thing. So
you guys think the Lakers still got this, or it's a little questionable right now?
They got this. Like you got Suns and Jazz on top that might not even make the first round.
I mean, the Suns playing the Mavericks. I think. Well, if the play-in was shit, like let's say the play-in happens and it's Memphis at 8 and Dallas at 7. I think they move on, both of them, the Jazz and the Suns, because I don't see Memphis beating the Jazz, and I don't see the Mavericks beating the Suns, because KP.
I can see the Mavericks winning.
Man,
I don't know why.
Don't give KP all that credit. You know he not like that. You just put on somebody to guard Luka and you good. KP not like that.
He's been good consistently lately, past 2 games. Maybe.
Man, until he steps the wrong way onto the little mat that they step on to like get some grip on their shoes and he turns his ankle or something for the rest of the year. Like, dude is like the dude for SpongeBob. I was born with glass bones and paper skin.
Oh, you really do hate KP.
Yo, I mean, He a bum. He a traitor.
How about Lakers, Nuggets, and Portland Clippers? That middle section.
If the Lakers got to play the Nuggets first round, they got to be concerned. If everybody's not healthy, in my opinion.
Interesting.
How do you feel about Mavs?
I think they're going to stay at seventh. I don't see them moving up, and then they're going to lose to the Suns in the first round if they even make it in the play-in. Because I could see them choking it against the Grizzlies for some weird reason.
Hmm.
And if they got to play the Warriors or Spurs, I still see the Mavericks choking it again. That might be
I don't
me
know.
talking because I want the pick, but
The West playoffs just look interesting. Like every single game looks interesting.
It does. Literally. I was just thinking that. I was like, no matter like what the matchup ends up being, like it's gonna be a good game. Because even I don't know, even if Dallas slips to 8, that's still a good matchup between Utah and Dallas.
I agree.
And even if they stay at 7, if they play Phoenix, if the Grizzlies stay at 8, I don't know if the Grizzlies stay at 8 if they play the Jazz, if that's a good matchup. Wouldn't say that, but it's something.
I mean,
Yeah,
Portland and Clippers might be the craziest one in my opinion.
Yeah,
hey, Paul
man,
George might be low key a curse if they lose.
that's a fact. So okay, they lose again this year. What does that team have to do? I think. Do you know how much time is left on their contracts on either one of both of those guys?
Kawhi is up this year because he signed like a really weird 2 to 3 year deal.
Hmm.
Paul George just signed an extension last year, so he's there for another like 3-4 years. I don't know if you can find the exact stuff on his contract, Chris, but I know Kawhi's up this year, and they already said like he's re-signing with the Clippers unless something crazy happens. But I don't know if that's the way for him because he can only do so much.
Agreed. I'm going back to the Raptors. I'm going back to the Six.
It's good, Chris. Nah, you should just cut out. Try to leave and come back.
Thanks.
All right, so while Chris gets that situated, Ethan, let's dive into MLB a little bit. How you feel about baseball so far? I know you're not crazy about baseball, so I want your takes first.
Honestly, it's not been that bad. I haven't paid attention. Um, the thing that bothered me was Tatis got hurt early. Like that was kind of like the player I've been looking forward to. But
Can you hear me?
There you go.
now you're good. Yeah.
Say something.
Something.
Hello.
Is there echo or no?
A little bit, but nothing crazy.
All right. Well, looks like this. I'm going to talk to you guys. So
Now, I was
Good.
telling Ethan how he feel about MLB so far because Ethan not too crazy about baseball like that. He watches it, but he's not like a super fan. But
It's been entertaining, not for the most part. It's been really entertaining.
word. Can we talk about your Mets a little bit?
After that last game,
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the controversial walk-off the Mets just had where Michael Conforto kind of decided let me stick my arm in. Here we go. Let me play it straight off of ESPN for y'all real quick. I'm gonna do it with no sound because I don't want this to sound crazy or echo or something like that. So, here we go. Here's the play. Whenever it decides to,
here we go.
And he sticks his arm in,
What?
and that's ball game.
You're the umpire. No, that was good.
let them play it in slow motion. Hold up. They play it in slow motion, right?
Yeah, right here. Puts his arm in, and I'm gonna just take this off the elbow real quick, and we're gonna win this game.
Definitely leaned in.
It's high IQ.
Even
High IQ right there.
he was like, yeah, I may have leaned in, but I think it was just based off reaction. Like, your first reaction is to lean into a pitch. That's great. So no.
Shout out to the umpire.
That was a bad screw up, and they couldn't even challenge it either. That's the funny part.
No.
I mean, hey, Whatever it takes, right?
The umpire said it's good. I mean, I guess we'll take the W.
So, Chris, what was the MLB announcement after that?
That it should have been an out.
Yeah, so people who don't know baseball, you can't inadvertently just stick your arm in and take a pitch to get a hit by pitch because that's
basketball to give people like reference sake. Isn't that kind of like a charging? Like you're just kind of in the way, like you're stepping in the way.
It's more like if you fake a shot and you bump into the person, like you lean over to take the shot.
All right, cool.
So that's how the Mets won yesterday. I mean, they got smoked the day before, so I guess leaning in to take hit by pitches is the way we got to do it now, huh?
Yeah, no, definitely. It has to get done.
Exactly. Umpire says it's good. It's good. I mean, you can't argue with the umpire, you know.
I mean, Don Mattingly tried it and then it worked too well for him. So.
It didn't work out.
Chris, Yankees, bro, we've been looking pretty good. Can't complain. Life is great over here. We're not leaning into pitches to win games. We actually smoking our opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always in the beginning. Yeah. We'll see later on.
Wow. No faith in the Yankees. That's crazy. A lot of people are saying the Yankees might be the only team that could take down the Dodgers. I mean, they said 5 teams, but if that's the case, that means that the Yankees and Dodgers are playing in the World Series, which can't complain about that. Projection. There you go. I don't know. Don't mind me. So, Chris, who's your favorite right now to win it all from baseball? Because me and Ethan talked about it.
You froze for a second. What did you say?
I said, who's your favorite right now in baseball to take it all? Since the, people are saying the Dodgers. Do you agree with that? Do you think it is our Yankees? Do you think there's a dark horse? The Padres, the Mets?
You're going to just say maybe the Padres. If it's not the Padres, it's got to be the Yanks, dog. Like, and that's what I like the Dodgers. I don't know, but I feel like the Yankees, after adding a little bit of pitching, they address those issues a little bit. But the bat, you see, Giancarlo Stanton finally is getting healthy, finally producing what you actually traded for, what you got him here for. And hopefully, if he can stay healthy throughout the year, he doesn't fucking come out the bullpen and break his ankle. Hopefully, if that sticks out, they could. I think they'll honestly smoke the Dodgers. But who am I?
Yo, Houston, 6-1. You think the Astros are gonna keep up this hot streak, or you think people are gonna start pegging them with pitches?
They're gonna come out. They're using cowbells now.
Wow. Wow, Chris.
I got no faith in Houston.
Come on, bro. It's your team now. You a Dallas man.
I was about to say.
If you know anything about Texas, we do not fuck with Houston. Dallas does not fuck with Houston. Houston does not fuck with Dallas.
So you're a Rangers fan now is what I'm hearing?
No.
The East, bro. I mean, this is the crazy thing, right? The Nationals are 1-2. Atlanta is 2-4. The Mets are 2-2, and the Phillies are 5-1. Do you think that's probably the best division of baseball right now, like competitive-wise? Because I don't know about the East, because the AL East with the Yankees and Boston and Toronto never pans out.
Yeah, so I would say so, yeah. I mean, let's see.
You got the Central too, with Cincinnati, St. Louis, the Cubs, the Brewers. The Pirates suck balls this year, but we're not gonna talk about that.
AL Central, the NL Central doesn't look bad either. But man, I feel like that NL West is gonna be kind of weird because you got Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and I feel like even the Rockies aren't that bad, dog.
Nah, a lot of people thought they were going to be a lot worse after they traded Arenado to the Cardinals, but they've been surprisingly decent.
Yeah, so that's it. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, still pretty early, but we're gonna see what happens there. We're gonna see if Michael Conforto takes a pitch to the dome tomorrow.
If the umpire says good, it's good. We're gonna complain to Ruff that he made a bad call? No, he made a great call.
Okay. Did you see that they're investigating Trevor Bauer for stuff on the ball?
Wow, already?
He's got a foreign substance on multiple balls.
Yeah, they're looking very heavily at the pitches now. They're gonna look at the spin rate of pitches. They're gonna look at a lot of stuff now. So pretty much what I mean by that is now with all the technology they have, they're able to see these balls now, and obviously with a curveball grip, you hold it a certain way. Change-up grip, you hold it a different way. So obviously when you let go, it's gonna spin a certain way. And if they see that the spin is a lot faster one day out of nowhere, they're gonna look into that now, and that will be.
Oh shit!
So Trevor Bauer, shout out to you for setting an example.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy how much technology is changing sports.
Bro, literally just holding the ball, you throw it, they'll look at the spin rate, and if they see the spin rate of the ball changes, they know you're using substances now.
Yeah.
Which obviously they're gonna account weather and all that stuff too, because when it's colder, it's a lot harder to throw the ball or raining and stuff. But
Thanks.
crazy, man. But we'll leave it there. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday to record. Post that up on Wednesday, and we're changing reselling 101 a little bit. We're gonna see if we do it on Sundays, post it on Sundays, Mondays. We'll figure it out. We're trying to change it up, change some things here, and see what sticks. So,
Yes, sir.
see y'all guys next week. Hope you have great weekends. Peace.
Peace.